Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. I've got a pond update for you guys because it has been exactly 1 month since we applied our Polymer pond dam sealer to the pond. It's a product called Damit made by Shalex. It comes out of Australia. And I was gonna wait to do an update until a little bit further into summer because we've had a pretty wet spring here. And I don't know if the results that you can see behind me are a result of the pond sealer working or because of the wet spring and the additional rain that we've gotten. But I do have some promising signs that I wanted to share with you. So let me show you those now. So here's a panorama view of the pond so you can see where the water level is in relation to the sides. We are just now getting back to where we were after the spring thaw. After we had about 2 foot of snow melt on this entire hillside, flow downhill into the pond. And then we lost 2.5 feet, and then we applied that Shalex Damit product to the interior of the pond, even some on the floor of the pond, and now we have gotten back that 2.5 feet. And there's 2 things that I've been keeping my eye on to see whether it's working or not. One is the water level, but as I alluded to earlier, the water level is not really indicative of whether that product is working because we've had a wet spring. So we've got a lot of water coming in, our spring head plus rainwater and all that. So while we are up, I think on March 21st, that water level was about 1 foot 9 inches. And as you can see, that stake was 4 feet tall and it is just barely poking out of the top there. So we've gained over 2 foot of water on the pond in the last 30 days. Now, the other thing that I'm keeping my eye on, we'll go take a look at that now. So now we're on the back side of the dam, and the other thing that I've been keeping my eye on, which I think is a little bit more indicative of whether that polymer is working, actually came from one of the subscribers that left a comment down below. They said you should mark out where all of your seeps are on the back side of your dam so you can keep an eye on whether you're gaining on, stopping the leaks, or if they're getting worse or if they're staying the same. So I brought some flags out here, and you can see I marked out a seep right there. That one is completely gone. And these other ones are a lot smaller than they were. So if you look, I had a mark there, and that wet spot was all the way out around here. It's actually shrunk down a little bit in size. This one over here, that seep came all the way down to this flag and was all the way up to that flag there. Now it's still just about as wide as it was, but it's not anywhere near as big. So overall, I do think that it's working. And luckily we put down 3 pails of that stuff and we have 3 left. And the thought was, as the pond level comes up, we'll keep adding to the upper sections as the pond level comes up and up and up. I don't think that if you're gonna put this stuff down, it's going to be a one application fixes all. I think it's going to be 2 or 3 different applications so that you can continue to fight the pond leaks and eventually it will seal. So with all that said, we're going to put down another bucket of this pond sealer, and hopefully the pond will come up another 2 feet. We'll put down our second to last bucket. It'll come up another 2 feet, and then we'll put down our final bucket, and hopefully the pond will be full and all the seeps on the back side of the dam will be gone. That's the thought and the hope anyway. All right, so that only took about 10 minutes, and a couple things I did to make my life a little easier and also to hopefully get a better end result was I looked from standing on the top side of the dam where my seeps were, and then I marked them with flags up here on the high side, so as I was walking around, I could kind of go a little heavier in the areas where I knew that the seeps were. Now, that's not a real good indicator of where the water is actually penetrating through because, it could be finding a spot through the dam here and going this way and then out. But it did give me some kind of indication, or at least it made me feel good anyway. So what I did was I just went around one time, applied evenly the whole way around, and then I went around again and kind of hit heavier in the spots where I marked out with flags around. But how that product is supposed to work is it's supposed to settle down to the bottom of the pond. The water pressure up against the dam, as the water is seeping through, will carry the product into anywhere where the water is seeping through the dam. Once the product is inside any of those seep holes, it's going to expand up to 300 times in size, and now you've got your watertight plug. That's how it's supposed to work in theory. So in theory, it's not necessarily critical to get it exactly where the water is seeping through, but you just need to get it close, kind of like horseshoes and hand grenades. Anyways, guys, that's the update on the pond for today. I can't tell you how reassuring it is to gain 2.5 feet in 30 days. That's almost an inch of depth on the pond every single day. Like I said before, I don't know if that's just weather related or the pond sealer is working or a combination of the two. The real test is going to be once we get to June and July, get out of this rainy season and the weather starts to dry out a little bit. I know we'll lose some to evaporation, but we'll really get a good look at the backside of the dam to see if the seeps have stopped. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this one, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.